In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use the brand new JND515 Sea Holly die, which is a single slimline die which cuts us beautiful flowers, and how we can use the ink through properties of this die to give us these beautiful flowers here, all made in white card just by colouring through, just tying it together to give us quite a simple yet opulent card, which is great for absolutely any occasion. So let's start making this. So to make that card and those beautiful flowers, we're going to use the brand new JND515 Sea Holly die, and this is a slimline die, and what that means is it will fit through any machine. So it will fit through all of your mini machines as well as all of your larger machines, all the way up to sort of A4 and 12 by 12. And this is different. This has got a similar idea to the previous thistle flower that we did. However, this time the petals are wider, which means that the actual circle meets. And it's also been designed, if I pull the die out I can show you this time, so you can colour through and use just white card to get lots of beautiful different coloured flowers, which is obviously what we've done to make the card here. So very, very simple to do this. I've just got a piece here of our coconut white card, and this is literally a scrap, so I don't need anything wider than about 3 inches. This is actually 2 3/4 and no longer than 5 3/4 inches. I've got a slightly bigger piece. As I said, this is a scrap of card, and I'm just going to tape it down and then simply cut that. So bring it into my Kaleido, but I could again use my mini machine if I wanted to, which means this is great for using in front of the sort of TV at night, and you can cut lots of flowers in no time at all while paying attention to something else. So we don't want to obviously take the flowers out because we want to colour through. So I'm just going to grab my 4-in-1 tool and make sure you remove the tape. Although it may not touch where any of the flowers are, there's always that risk. And then for this, I'm using Versifying Claire, and I'm using Cheerful, so a nice bright yellow, and one of the Crafts 2 finger daubers. But you can use absolutely sort of any ink you've got. It looks beautiful in the fusion ink with the gold or with the sparkle around it. And all I'm going to do is take some on the finger dauber and then rub circles around each flower. So I'm not sort of trying to do anything posh, I'm just literally colouring through. Nice and simple. And every flower, even the small little sort of centres or mini flowers, work perfectly and still get colour going through them. So once we've done that, simply pull the die off, take any out that are stuck in the paper, and you can see we've turned them from just plain white to a beautiful sort of bright yellow with that little white edge. It really makes a really sweet difference to the way our cards look. So I'm just going to pop each flower out. And what you get from this is 2 large, or 2 extra large, 2 large, 2 medium, 2 small, and also 4 minis. So I'm missing a mini. Let's take that one out. Just like that. So that one's missed a little bit of the colour, so I could drop it back into the die in any of those spaces, give it a good push down so it stays in place, turn it over and just colour it. And to clean the back of your die, all you need to use is a soft cloth and wipe it off. If the ink doesn't come off, just use a little bit of hand sanitizer, and that will take all off without damaging the coating on your die. So pop our die away, and then all I'm going to do is take a little bit of glue glaze and pop some in the centre of each of those 4 of the bigger flowers, and take the other of the same size, rotate it, and it fills exactly. And that's the difference between this and the thistle flower. This completely fills that gap, whereas those were finer petals designed to be more spiky. So I'm just going to pop those together, and you can leave them just like that, or you can just fold them up. So I'm just going to lightly fold them up and pop a centre in. So all we do, I just pop each one of the top set of petals up. Gives me a beautiful 3D flower without having to do any sort of posh work with a ball tool or foam or anything like that. For speed, I will just do the two largest ones. But all I'm doing is taking my 4-in-1 tool, so my pokey tool end, and just putting it underneath and lifting them up. There we go. Nice and simple. And centres for these, you can use pearls, you can use sparkle facet gems. I'm just going to use a few clear dewdrops, as they really work well with the colour, as they increase that colour. And when sticking these on, always use glue glaze, because this will dry within about 30 seconds, whereas if you use your standard PVA glue, what you'll actually find is that it will take up to 24 hours to dry, because it is a water-based glue. So it will glue to the glass, but it will actually take a while to go off. So your flowers will look white in the centre until they're completely dry. So there we've got those. For the little ones, so for the mini ones, I'm just going to use a little white pearl in the centre. So grab a pair of tweezers and just pop a little white pearl in the centre of each of those. And you can still see the yellow nimbus around them, so they still tie in absolutely beautifully. And then all I've done is repeat this with a light pink and a lavender ink to give me a beautiful spray, all from white card, each one of them giving me a different colour. So to use them onto a card, I've got a card blank here I've made, and I've used the beautiful Florentine edge on this. Again, a die that can be used in a mini machine. So this entire card, if you make that as a smaller panel and stick it on, can be made with a mini machine. And then all I'm going to do is to take, I'm using R3D glue gel, because in a syringe, because it makes sure they're stuck beautifully. And I'm just going to sort of arrange the flowers around this little spray here. So I'm seeing the green leaves kind of poking through. And I'm using sort of different sizes and 2 of each colour just to sort of work through. I can obviously then, and I'm going to use glue glaze for this, add on some of the mini little flowers, so we're keeping those going, just to kind of expand out. It looks so beautiful, this, and it looks so full, and yet we've not even used a full set of the flowers. Take one of the little yellow ones there, and then I'm just going to add around randomly a few more of those beautiful dewdrops. So we've got a really sort of clean and simple yet opulent looking card, where we get lots of reflection from the dewdrops, we get the different colours, but it's all made, or all possible to be made through with a mini machine. So you don't need a big die cutting machine for this, and it's all made with white card. You can even colour behind for that little green section with that. And then we'll just finish this off with a few of the mini pearls, because I always find I use less of the little mini ones from these craft artist pearls. So I've always got sheets with lots of little mini ones on, as I seem to use the bigger ones for the centres of my flowers. So I find, oh, you're not going to be happy, are you? Let's pick you up. Let's pick you up, take you off. There we go. You don't want to stick. Always happens. And just by putting a few of those around in a few little places, there we go. Clean and simple, but still bright and quite opulent. For more ideas, hints, tips and inspiration, why not join us on Facebook or YouTube?